you get to that thing of like not knowing if something's good or not good, and you're like, okay, I gotta just move on and get away from it for a minute. But when the thing happens where it really is good, right away everybody in the room looks at each other and they, it's like an undeniable thing.
There were times when it was uncomfortable, you know what I mean? And those times were hard. They're hard for any new artist. But once you get over that hump and you're now at a place where it's just like, okay, you know what to do. It's like going to work every day.
If anything, I think there's sort of this wisdom to understand when something is working and not working, and when to explore and not explore, and still having that mindset to keep within like a sonic landscape, so you're not going too far out of what can work within a project.
But you can't corner yourself in. You know what I mean? You gotta expose yourself to everything and everything and anything.
I think for them, it's just like, hopefully, like I'm inspired to see that there's like, within hip hop, there's like a group format. Like, it's cool. They're a group, and then I think it's also cool they're coming from. It's not like they're from New York. They're not from even Toronto. They're not even from, they're really from like more far afield. And then I guess, if I can then help just sound off a little bit about, okay, I think this is cool, or what have you tried this, or what, what's making me. I always, I think a lot of times when you're younger and you're making records, sometimes you're not the most as rigorous or hard on yourself as you should be and actually need to be, in terms of like, okay, am I making every word count? Is every verse as like great as it should be? Is every chorus as great as it should be?
Let's purposely make this bridge only 8 bars, because then that when it leaves, people are gonna be like, damn, that was a good thing, I want to put that back, right? Yeah. So we have that sort of
just kind of considering the listener a bit more, I guess.
Whereas before, we were kids just making music, like, you know what I mean? The fun is still there, it's still here, but it's just not as like willy-nilly anymore.
I just, again, want to get to a point where we get to make music and have that pay bills. Because if your music is paying your bills, you can just keep making music. You know what I mean?
Just want to make the good music.
Always want to make album after album after album, and want to have some people who want to listen to them.
It's only when you evolve into being a unique voice and being a voice that nobody's ever heard before and saying something that people haven't heard before, or how people haven't heard before, that's when it becomes meaningful. Before that, you really don't have much.